with a corporate conversation. VA Tech Wabag, the company has seen a top-line growth of 13%. Profits have gone up 10% on a year-on-year basis. Skandaprasad Seetharaman, CFO of the company, is now with us on the show. Sir, thank you very much for joining in. Starting with your top-line growth of about 13%, your long-term guidance is getting a 15 to 20% kind of growth year after year for the next 3 to 5 years. So in that context, Q1 is 13%. So are you confident that for the full year, things will pick up and you will end the year within that guided band of 15 to 20%? And was Q1 slower than your expectations?
Hi, good morning. Thank you very much for having us on your show, and greetings from Vienna. We did our first celebration of the centenary because we are celebrating 100 years this year. So
congratulations.
Congratulations, yeah. Thank you. And yes, it's also a good occasion to start the year with a successful quarter. We have grown year over year by 13%. Till the last year, there was this realignment of our business based on the strategy in terms of reducing our European exposure, improving our EP share of business, going more towards industrial. All of those are largely done. And now we are seeing, like we guided during the year end, the growth has started now, seeing in the top line. And we are confident that we will be in this medium-term outlook band of 15 to 20% going forward.
For the year, 15 to 20% on the top line is likely?
Yes, 15 to 20% is a band that we have given, and we are confident that we can achieve that.
For this year. Was Q1 slower than what you were anticipating? And what's the mix between international and domestic going forward? And even in a word on margins, because again, it's coming at the lower end of your guided band.
See, it's always a mix of projects that drives the margins, and we had guided a 13 to 15%. As the volumes improve, you will see that the margins also reflect the kind of projects that we are doing. From a growth perspective, usually the first half starts slow, but towards the second half, you will see the growth coming, and that's why we had given a more medium-term outlook instead of a quarter-over-quarter outlook.
Mr. Seetharaman, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in, and many congratulations on the century as well for your company. I wanted to ask you about your order book, sir. You've spoken about your current order book being around 10,700 crores. What was the current order book in the first quarter? What was the order inflow that you received in the first quarter? The guidance was around 4,500 to 5,000 crores, if I'm not wrong.
See, we had also mentioned during our year end that we are confident of growing our order book in a very strong way through this year. And here we are happy to see that we are already a preferred bidder in projects of over 6,000 crores, driven by the Middle East and Africa region and also the India region. All these are advanced technology jobs in desalination, in wastewater, both from municipal and industrial marquee clients. So we are seeing these orders coming through, and you will see in the next 2 to 4 months that we will start also getting these orders, and we will be able to announce them. But today we have also said it in our investor presentation that we are a preferred bidder in projects worth over 6,000 crores.
And what do you plan on ending the year with, sir?
We gave a 16 to 17,000 crore kind of guidance on the order book, and at the moment, with the kind of orders that are coming, with the pipeline that we are seeing, the strong outlook that we are seeing, we are confident of being in that range.
This 6,000 crore being a preferred bidder is an international, or is it a mix?
It is a mix, but largely driven by international.
Okay, and you're confident that you will end the year with an order book of 16 to 17,000 crore rupees,
correct,
right?
We are well on track towards that.
Oh, all right. Between international and domestic, where do you enjoy higher margins?
See, margin is very project specific, but yes, the international part gives us better margins because of the specs, because of the technology appreciation, and also the fact that we are able to do more EP projects. So a very plain vanilla answer, the international projects are usually better than the domestic projects, but it's very project specific and what kind of technology that we deploy.
Mr. Seetharaman, in your previous earnings call, you had mentioned that you have a very strong pipeline in the Gulf region. The issues that are prevailing currently in the Middle East, are you facing any sort of impact because of that? Or is the pipeline still continuing to remain very strong? And if you could quantify that for us as well.
See, we've already said a good amount of the close to $1 billion of bids that we had done was mainly driven by the Middle East region. And more importantly, Saudi Arabia, where we are seeing desalination being a major traction, and also the rest of Middle East and Africa. Till now, we have seen this region being strong, and we expect it continue to be strong. Also, the preferred bidder status, which I mentioned, has a good chunk of orders from this region. So we are very bullish about the Middle East. We don't at the moment see any issues around the robustness of the pipeline. But yes, we will keep a watch on the geopolitical movements. But at the moment, we don't see any difficulty in this region. We are executing a few projects and they are all going well.
Thank you very much for joining in. That's Viatech Wabag for you, maintaining their medium-term guidance of 15 to 20% on the top line, likely to achieve it this year too. Margins will stay between 13 to 15%. Typically, work picks up in the second half of the year. So as volume growth picks up, they expect margins too to trend up with that. The company is a preferred bidder in orders worth 6,000 crore rupees, and they're likely to end the year with an order book of 16 to 17,000 crore rupees. So those were some key numbers from the management. Get into a break. On the other side, we'll put the spotlight on Ola Electric, which made its D Street debut today.